Now, just for you that don't understand second and third form, yeah? First form is here. This is before the Japanese come over and give us any names to the techniques. So that's first form. Then it comes to second form. Then anywhere here is third form. No, it isn't. Here is third form. I'll get close. Here is fourth. Fifth is a cut to the head, Shogunuchi. Here. And then Yokomen is sixth form. And then seventh form is you'd call ski, which is a punch to the torso. Yeah? And that's the way we were brought up. And there was, at one stage, they didn't even have Shia Nagi Kodagishi. It was, this is before my time, but it was Noro Sensei that started naming the techniques when he came over. And that was after quite a few Japanese had been over. But when it was originally taught, it was just number one form and number one technique, number two technique. It wasn't, nothing was named. And then it snuck in and snuck in and snuck in until now some classes you're talking Japanese from the time you walk in the club to the time you walk out. So we all know Taina Henko, and there are lots and lots of ways of doing the same thing. Owamaru, they're just doing this. And the reason I'm not too fussed is because it has a finish. It stopped and then they're moving. I don't like anything that has a finish. The planets don't stop and have a quick glass of whiskey on its way round the moon, or the moon going round. Do you understand me? It continually moves. I give him the feeling, now a lot of my movements are just here, just my hand. Sensei Stoko likes a lot of blade upright movements. I tend to use my wrist, same effect, same. He went one way, or learned from one person, I learned from a different, and it's the result at the end that matters, isn't it? So, here, what I do is I transfer my hips here. Because if he's stronger than me, no matter what I do, I'm not going to get anywhere. So I must transfer my hip where the meeting of the two hands are. And look, the first part of any technique is the most important. My energy is now going this way. So if I follow it, he follows it. Nasty, I like that. See, it was all worthwhile. I'm giving him energy, he's giving me energy, and that's what must happen in any attack. So, the other thing that I got told off for is never showing footwork. My feet act like windscreen wipers all the time. I don't ever plant my foot and then try to move because nothing will work. My feet turn, yeah, here, I'm centered. Basic tenchinagi, yeah, basic tenchinagi. In, turn. Let him come to kick on the hand. So who's that exercise for? I'm not doing anything much. The whole exercise is made up for uki. I'm not trying to be anything other than central. Some of you, I said I got cherries. Telling lies, it could have been plums. But I've got a little bowl of cherries in front of me. And all I've done is stepped, turned, stepped around, turned, and then offer him one. And he runs as sweet as a nut straight onto your hand. Because he's got to take about 6 steps to my one, I can polish my knuckles, get them all nice, and get a couple of knuckle dusters on as well if I like. Make sure they fit me. And then just hold it there. then he catches up. So in that particular mode, I am gaining the time. So if I'm looking at this particular mode, I can come round here again. I can bring this around here. I can now equally as well change my mind. Sorry. I have the thing, but it must be my hips, uli uli, yeah, uli uli, or dancing it through almost. Some of the best Aikido I've seen was by a dancer. She was absolutely brilliant, but she's trained to learn a complete dance routine and start the next one on Monday, because you only do it Saturday and Friday perhaps. And then they start a new one on Friday, but she couldn't tell you what she did the week before. And that was the trouble. You'd show her the technique, everything else, brilliant, but she was into something else and it's gone. She couldn't hang on to it. So it's a way, I suppose, they have to be trained if you're a professional dancer, because you're changing your routine every week. And if you started putting half of one and half of the other together, you could have a real old cocker. Oops. So now let's do a little thing for Uki, for Tori then. We're coming here, we're coming here, we're coming here. This is now. So that nice little yawn is the word. Yeah? But treat it as no different. Leave your arms nice and loose, just have a scratch of the head. And we're playing a game just to try and make it easy. So if you're doing it fast, 90% of the time you're doing it to get it over with. You're there to enjoy it. And if you're making a mistake, let's have a look. Because then I can say, hey Phil, no, not that. Look there, that's better. Yeah? And we can put it right. If you're hiding it, and years ago when we started, Shiyanagis were just bang. They weren't even cast away. They would be in, bang. And it was not a proper roll in your kemi, it was a splat. And what would happen, and I'm sick in the head, because we'd be practicing here doing our Shiyanagis. And then all of a sudden the Sensei would be coming over and I'd be going, no, it's your go, it's your go. So that you'd be the one being told off for being slammed in. But being a bit thick, it never cottoned me that I'm the one that's going to be slammed while he stands and watches. You think, oh, I'm not having a go at me. And so you'd be the one being slammed in. So it was a bit daft. But the whole idea is you should be open. And if you're making a mistake, you should be letting yourself flow and go, right, okay, let's calm it down, let's slow it down. Let's find the actual spot. Let's find the actual spot. Oh, I've got something. Oh, I've got, no. Then I found this bit. Oh, damn. I've got that wrong. That isn't to say that you can't do something from there, because you can. But by the by, do you see what I mean? You honestly explore the technique, enjoy the technique, and look for the poetry within the movement. I'm no good at written poetry, but I see Aikido as like a beautiful movement, a poetry in its own movement. Does that make any sense to anyone? Yeah. And you're dafter than I am. But I see this as beauty, a flow, and in, and down. Yeah? Please do it better than me. The ultimate aim of any teacher is for you to come back and say, I found a way that's better.